Get that white film. Shut up. I need a haircut. I need them all cut. All right, let's shoot this pony in the face. Oh, don't do that. You can't see where he's going. Da-da-da-da-da. If you want to leave, take good care. Hope you have a lot of nice friends out there. There's a lot of bad database everywhere. Ooh, ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile, girl. Ooh, baby, 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 it's a fucking wild world out there, man. Here we go.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
I got him!
So don't get cocky.
This is about what's going to happen.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, how please and thank you is costing us millions, and another deadly TikTok challenge, and why e-bikes are bad for you, and a woman has been lied to for 10 years about the couple's child. All this and much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive, and for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you up to date on all the news and viral stories that you might have missed over the last couple days, or we'll be talking about them here in the upcoming few. How are you? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? That's all we care about. Make sure that you're getting along with someone out there. Now, before we kick off our show, we're going to go down under. We're going down under to a news story about a carjacking that took place. And now, you know, when you have a carjacking or anything like that, they want to get the man on the street. They want to get some kind of eyewitness that was there. Oh, he was waving a gun, or he was driving erratically, or something like that. Now, this persons down in Australia, is taking over TikTok, and everyone's going to be talking about them here shortly. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4, and don't forget, for every podcast we do, I have a matching video over on YouTube as well, and you can see this all in real time as we're talking about it here on the air. Let's go to Australia to find out what happened with this fatal carjacking, or carjacking that didn't go well. So here we go.
Have told how their mother and man raced to help when the carjacked SUV rolled on Steve Irwin Way, only to find the gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there, and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run, he's got a gun."
So if you're watching this here, it's these two ladies, and they're twins. And they're giving their presentation on News 7 over in Australia about the gunman that threatened people when his SUV flipped over. He jumped out and he's got a gun and stuff. And these two were on the scene, and they look like they have like nurses scrubs on for like a kid's hospital or daycare center or something like that. And they're twins, and they're talking together with them, you know, not finishing each other's sentences. They're literally talking both at the same time.
And our heart started to pound, and I said, "Oh, Mum, where's Mum?" And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, "Are you all right?"
Because he had all blood
all over his face. And he goes, "I'll shoot you." She goes, "Hey, I'm here to help."
I don't know if this is a party trick or what, but they're dead serious. They didn't even say it in the beginning of the episode or the lead into this story. They just said, "And let's go live on the street."
And Mum distracted him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran into the bush
behind the fence. And the guy goes to her, "I'll find you and I'll shoot you."
Wow.
I was thinking about when we were running, I hope he doesn't fire. Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there, and we were past our
when you
driveway.
You don't think of all of that at the time.
All right, so yeah, so there they go, and you're like, "Well, that can't be. That's not right. That didn't happen." They actually hunted these two women down and had them on the local.
happens and we don't know.
Hold on. So the Aussie twins can't stop speaking at the same time, and they had them on the Daily Mail. So here they are talking to the Daily Mail about their, I don't know if it's a condition, but they're literally finishing each other's sentences or just continuing each other's sentences.
Well, it just happens and we don't know why, but we have tried to talk separately, but we're not ourselves. It's not us, and it's very hard. We tell people, if you can't stand listening to us, simply just switch off the TV.
I'm ready to switch off the TV right now. So if you're not seeing that out there, you're going to see it now shortly because it's all on it. You've heard it. Your logarithm, I always wanted to call it logarithm, is your algorithm is going to now pop up, and now you're going to see them all over the place. These two twin ladies, and they're probably in their mid-40s, if not early 50s. And they literally, and we talk together at the same time. Gives you reminiscence of Red Rum. You know, The Shining, the two twins at the end of the hallway in Shining. So there you go. It doesn't give their names out. Just the two Aussie twins that are talking over each other. All right, guys, when we come back, we ever had a CAT scan before? They say once you have a CAT scan, did you know to do this right afterwards or soon afterwards? It could help save your life. And we'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. If you'd like to be heard, well, we'd love to hear from you. You can be part of the show, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. You can be podcast famous. At the very top of the screen says join the podcast. Actually, it says be heard, and you can join the podcast. You hit on that button. If you got a microphone on whatever device you're listening to us on or at, speak right into it, and it says, I think, record, listen back, and then send. You can be anonymous if you want. You can ask us anything over the last 11 years of shows. Yep, we've been on the air for 11 years, and with all the RSS feeds and stuff and mistakes that I've messed up somewhere along the line, I think it only keeps now all the way till 2018, which is not too bad. So you got some shows to listen to when you're in between our weekly show. Now, we broadcast every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. And you're welcome to comment or ask me anything. AMA, I think, is what the kids are saying. Ask me anything. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio. Now, I've had an MRI, which is very, very noisy. I have not had a CAT scan. My dad is going through treatment and everything, and he has had a CAT scan. Now, I ask him how'd the CAT scan go, and he goes, well, I won't know until later, and then, he comes home and stuff. But right now, it turns out that thousands of people do not know what to do after they get a CAT scan. Why has no one ever told us this? This medical text says that you need to flush out your kidneys after a common procedure. Here's what science says. People don't know that they need to drink fluids after a scans with contrast. I guess when they put the dye in there. As one TikToker users posted a reminder for patients on the internet. Of course, thank you very much. Gabrielle Foreman, known as X-Ray Bay Official on TikTok, gave out her advice on a common practice after a CAT scan. The video quickly gained more than 400,000 views, as many people didn't realize the harmfulness effect of not drinking fluids after any contrast imaging have been entered in their body. Foreman says, if you get a CAT scan, if you get one done, they inject you with a contrast, and make sure you get home and drink plenty of fluids to flush the kidneys out. Other TikTokers agreed with Foreman, emphasizing that they need the fluids, for the fluids after a contrast ejection to rinse everything out so they don't settle in there and cause kidney stones. Some viewers supplied additional insight on how the contrast may affect with kidney disease as well. So what is a contrasting agent? It refers to most likely an iodine or iodide, some kind of media that's got like lead or something in it, so that it'll pop up on the screen. So let's see, where's her video at? Please tell me it is right here. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube, and you can see the podcast in its true form, front to back, up to down, soup to nuts, on there as well. Hold on, girl, I know you want to talk. Everyone wants to talk as soon as they get on the air. So here we go. We're going to talk to X-Ray Bay Official about what we should do after a CAT scan. So here we go.
Contrast. That's this stuff right here.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure when you get home, you drink plenty of fluids to flush your kidneys out. Thank me later.
Thank you later. So there you go. And she's gotten over 400,000 views on that. So if you didn't know that, if you're having a CAT scan, man, I got to remind my dad that because he gets CAT scans all the time. Because he's going through stuff. And, he's old. He's like 78 years old now. So he's just making sure that he's doing everything healthy. Now, one thing that experts are warning us now that we've been is reverse thinking our whole engineering as far as being polite. When someone does something for you, you always say please and thank you. I hate managers. I used to work at places where they were like, hey, can you pick up those boxes, please and thank you? I was like going, fuck you. I can't stand that phrase. That's one phrase I can't stand. And the other one is, it is what it is. I can't stand those two phrases. I got a couple more that gets under my skin, that drives my gears. Grinds my gears, drives them. Put it in park, babe. But please and thank you right now is costing the economy millions and millions of dollars. And you're like going, well, how can that be? Well, we consider ChatGPT to be a human being, right? So a CEO of OpenAI has warned about the impact of being polite on ChatGPT after the billionaire makes a shocking claim. Everyone knows that there isn't actually a human being answering your weird and wonderful questions on the other side of the AI platform. Some users still use please and thank you when making requests to ChatGPT. The tech billionaire Sam Altman, CEO of the company, that has given some insight on how this impacts his business and why it not actually be the most polite thing to do. In 2024, a survey suggested that 67% of Americans are nice to AI bots, but it turns out that is a simple, polite phrase that they're saying is adding up big time. Users have been more recently aware of the impact of the platform on its environment. So it has been suggested that ChatGPT emits 8.4 tons of carbon dioxide per year, more than twice the amount than any is emitted by one individual person. Experts have suggested that chatbots already use 2% of the world's entire energy consumption, and it's only going to increase by, tenfold or more. I just threw the tenfold in there. But Altman warned that users being polite is actually costing him tens of millions of dollars. When one person on X wondered how much it would cost to potentially be costing the company, the CEO himself replied tens of millions of dollars were spent. You'll never know. The Microsoft design manager, Curtis Beavers, true name, has argued that keeping interactions polite may go... Oh, fucking article popped up right in front of me. May be a good thing. He says using polite language sets a tone for the response. When it clocks back politeness, it's more of a polite back and forth. So what they're saying is, if you don't know this, the energy, physical energy that it takes to run an AI bot, ChatGPT, whatever out there, it takes a lot of energy. And you're like going, well, why? Because this monstrosity of a computer, mega computer, is pulling from all over the interwebs. And it takes a lot of energy. It's kind of like Bitcoin. You ever seen Bitcoin houses get busted? Then they've got just, tower after tower after tower, and they're just sitting there mining Bitcoin. If you don't know how to mine Bitcoin, a computer will ask you like 39 different complex problems, and it's like a 39-sided Rubik's Cube. And once you get the 39-sided Rubik's Cube with all the same colors on whatever side, you get a percentage of a Bitcoin. And all these computers eat up a lot of energy. ChatGPT is the same, or not ChatGPT, but AI bots are the same exact way. It eats up all this stuff. So you're like going, well, a little please and a little thank you is going to cost tens of millions. Yes, it might. If I do it and you do it and the person next to you, there's 374 million people around. Maybe not all of them are using a computer, but even if 10% of them are using a computer and then they put in the little extra thing. Now, granted, yes, there's other ways we can, don't drive a gas guzzling car, don't take as many flights, so on and so forth. But they are saying that please and thank you is costing the CEO a lot of money. So can you stop it, please? And thank you. When we come back, this one doctor has gone through your household and made you a living nightmare as far as all the different things in the house that can kill you and what's toxic and what's deadly for you. So when we come back, we're going to dive into the latest one that we use, some of us more than once a day. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us over on Facebook. Yes, our Facebook page is up and running. I see we've got a couple hundred people over there right now, so you can be part of the Deacon Live experience over on Facebook. Just search Deacon Live, all one word. We have a new logo up there. It's no different, not a whole lot different than the original one that we have here. And if you're watching this on the YouTube video, let me see what camera I'm on. Right, that one right there. It's the little robot guy with a eyeball and a TV screen for a head. We kind of updated it a little bit, and you can see it right there on the YouTube video. Oh, let me go back to that. Did I put it here? Oh, yeah, there it is up in the right-hand corner. If you're watching this over on, let's see what happened, over on YouTube as well. But make sure you follow us over on Facebook. That's where I'm going. And you'll get a bunch of insight stuff. Some of the stories that I talk about, I'll post them up there as well. And you can see everything if you don't want to watch the whole entire video. Shame on you, by the way. But you can see the actual articles and send them if you want to share them with your friends and stuff. Now, there is a trend, and along with trends comes disaster. You know, the ice tub challenge or whatever, and someone died of hypothermia because they took it too far. Just all these stupid things. Well, this trend right here is no different. A bride died just weeks after getting married when the trash the dress challenge trend went wrong. Maria no lie, this is her name, Maria Pantazopoulos took part in the controversial social media trend back in 2012. I guess we're just talking about it now. The case where the bride tragically died while taking part of the dangerous wedding trend has recently emerged. Okay, so they just figured it out now. Just weeks after Mary P., I'm going to say Mary Pantazopoulos. Oh, there you go. I got it now. Just weeks after Mary Pantazopoulos, I messed it up now, tied the knot with her husband, Billy, who's his last name is the same, of course. On June 9th, 2012, the 30-year-old's family were forced to arrange a funeral for her after she decided to take part in the so-called trash the dress trend. Now, what does that mean? The trend sees a newlyweds totally destroying their wedding dress in an elaborate fashion before sharing the results online. Now, I don't know if you've gotten married. I've been married now. Last month was 11 years. Thank you very much. Congratulations to my wife and I. 11 years. Both of our first marriage, so we're enjoying every minute of it. And she took a lot of time on a wedding dress. And a lot of times back in the old school days, wedding dresses were expensive. Now, I'm not saying my wife's dress wasn't expensive. It was expensive. And I think she had a designer label on it too. There's no way she's trashing that dress. She's not doing anything like that. It did rain a little bit towards the beginning of our wedding. And so I think like the fringes got a little mud or something on them. So she's like, I'm going to take it in and get it steam clean. Dresses cost a lot of money. And back in the day, they used to hand them down from family members to family members. And also on a 50th anniversary or milestone anniversary, sometimes the wife, if she hasn't put on weight or, taking care of herself or whatever, she'll brag, I can still wear my wedding dress, that type deal. Or I've lost so much weight since my wedding dress. You never see I'm too fat to wear my wedding dress now. Go ahead and trash it. So what actually happened to Maria, we'll dive into it, pardon the pun, because you're going to see where this is going. Dive into it right now. The Canadian-born Maria became inspired by the different idea altogether following her summer wedding 13 years ago, and even hired a photographer to capture the moments of the shot of her trashing the dress. Along with a creative photographer, Louis Pegazowski, she ventured to a picturesque location in the Ottawa River near Darwin Falls in Montreal of August this past year, or whenever she got married. She planned to soak the dress in the mossy waters of the falls and captured a beautiful picture in the meantime. Sadly, however, one aspect of the plan went tragically wrong when the sheer weight of the wedding dress. After posing for several pictures, she opted to lay down in the water collected at the bottom of the waterfall and never came back up for air. The bride was dragged down. She was dragged down as deep as 8 meters, after which the photographer dove in an attempt to rescue her. Despite reaching his client, however, he found the dress too heavy to pull her back up while she was in it to the surface. She had her wedding dress on, and she said that, this is him quoting, she had her wedding dress on, and she said, take some pictures of me while I swim a bit in the lake. She went in, and her dress got heavy, and I tried to save her as the best I could. I jumped in and was screaming and yelling. We tried our best. Oh, my God. The photographer also revealed that prior to being dragged beneath the water, she uttered her final words, I can't anymore. It's too heavy. Get out, sister. Get out. Her family included heartbreaking news to the new husband, later released the official statement of their loss. One thing is certain about that, Maria would have never put her life at risk, the statement read. She trusted, basically saying that she didn't commit suicide. So, trashed the dress, she jumped into the water and said, look at me, I'm trashing my... Well, do you take your wife to be your awfully lettered wife to having to hold? Well, he did. Now, unfortunately, she's dead. I hate to say people are stupid, but sometimes, there's a reason why things, who would have known? Who would have known that would have happened? Now, something that might kill you in your house and you might have not known it as now. Is that a right terminology? Well, we'll go with it, right? From cooking oils to dishwasher, Dr. Daniel Pompa has a strong track record of warning people about the secret dangers of everyday products. His latest target? Toilet paper. In a now viral clip, which has amassed over 590,000 views, Pompa began saying that toilet paper is one of the most toxic things that goes right into your bloodstream. All right, guy. Then he broke it down in 3 reasons why toilet paper is supposed to be bad for you. The first reason is that, according to him, toilet paper contains chlorine, which is described as a quote-unquote poison. Yeah, if you take enough of it. He also goes on to claim that toilet paper is dangerous because it can chemically react. A chemical reaction that produces extremely toxic substance called diazins. Ooh. And there's one more problem in the process. To make the paper stronger when it gets wet, they use formaldehyde. That's a toxic as well. So those 3 toxic alone make it very dangerous. That thing that we use every day. Is he right? I don't know. So let's see what Dr. Pompa has to say. And I'm going to switch over to camera 4 here, and we can hear him in real time as he talks about it. So here he goes.
Things that goes right into our bloodstream. 3 things that you need to know right here. Number 1, the chlorine used to make this so pretty and white, poison, and it creates in the chemical reaction something called dioxins. Extremely toxic. And there's one more problem.
What's
in
that
process, to make this paper stronger when it gets wet, they use formaldehyde.
No.
You know how toxic that is. Those 3 toxins alone make this one of the most dangerous darn things we use. The solution is now they're selling chlorine-free toilet paper, non-bleached toilet paper. That's the way you want to go. It's really not any more expensive, though. It feels the same.
So here's my question. This is where my mind goes. So if they've got bleached toilet paper, how come my butthole's so brown? I'm kidding. But, think about it. So what are we going to use? Non-bleached? So he says take the chlorine, non-bleached toilet paper, but there's still 2 other things in there. The formaldehyde, so it doesn't rip and break and your finger pokes through and tickles your butthole. Ha ha! Ooh! Your little balloon knot there. And the other one is the chemical whatever that makes diazine, whatever. How come he's not talking about that? You can take chlorine out of everything. Christ, the paper I'm using to read and write has chlorine in it. I'm not sitting there eating a wad of goddamn toilet paper. I just can't get enough of it. I think there was a television show on the Learning Channel where people were eating weird things. Like one lady was eating like seat cushions, like the cushions off of her couch. I think there was a toilet paper eater in there too. Oh, well, they're probably dead now too. All right, when we come back, this couple got married. It's a wedding show. This couple got married, and the husband said that this is my cousin I'm raising, and told a tragic story. And then 10 years later, the truth comes out. So stick around. I'll dive into what the actual truth is. You can see it coming. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget all the musical artists that you hear during the breaks. They're all independent artists, and they were showcasing their talent and their creativity during the podcast here. And we'd love for you to show them some love as well. And we actually have over on Spotify, we have music heard on Deacon Live. And you can find all the full-length songs over there and the actual tracks. And they get a little credit for it. They get a little coin, a little shekel in their pocket every time you go over there and listen to them. So right now, I think we just have all the songs from 2025 that have been here on the show. So check those people out as well. And the way you find them is go over to prophetradio.com. At the top of the page says music heard on, or listen now. I think it says there's a little bar or something up there that says listen on Spotify. Click on that and find your favorite artists over there and check them out. Give them a little download and add them to your Spotify playlist as well. Now, this woman right here, a mom can't believe she's having troubles pronouncing her newborn's name. She had no idea that this would be a problem. Now, there's a lot of people out there, they want to be unique. They want to be different. They want to be, instead of Ashley, Ashley, which is a common spelling. No, it's ASHLEIGHTLUN, that type of stuff. And then I've seen some weird other names on the other side of the spectrum as well. So as one of the many surprises that come with parenthood is how the world treats your child's name. Unless it's one of those surprise, unless it's one of those common names like John or Muhammad or Lisa or something like that. But if you give your child a non-traditional name, a gender-neutral name, you're going to throw a lot of folks off guard. And mispronunciations, which I can barely pronounce myself, are going to be an issue. This exact situation happened to TikTok user Justice Schroep. See, I have problems just saying her name. Justice, Justus is her name. No, not the regular one, not the Justice, like a court of law. No, she's got to change her name too. Fucking weirdos. Who recently had her second child, but there was a twist. She isn't quite sure how to pronounce her child's name either. I may have named my daughter a name I can't even pronounce, she says. Now, I think I can pronounce it, but I've been told by a couple of people about her name, and there are two people who thought and said the exact same thing. So I don't know that I know how to pronounce her name correctly. So what is her name? Hold on, dear. I know. Here we go. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4, and don't forget, for every podcast, we do have matching video. The whole entire video is available over on the YouTube channel, so check us out over there as well. So I'm going to switch to camera 4. You see it? There we go. Take her off mute, and let's see what see, if you look at her name, it's JUST, US, and then Moms 29. So it's just us moms, but her name is Justice. Fucking weirdo. All right, here we go.
Can't even pronounce. Now, I think I can pronounce it, but I've told a couple people her name, and there are two people who thought I said the same exact thing, so I don't know that I know how to pronunciate. I can't even say that word. I don't know that I can pronunciate her name correctly. For reference, her name's Sutton. That is how I say it. There's a few people I know who say, oh, hey, Sutton. I'm not going to enunciate the T's like that. It drives me absolutely nuts. Her name is Sutton. But I told a friend her name one time, and she goes, oh, that's cute. And then she repeated the name back to me, and I was like, no, that is not what I said. And last week, my son's speech therapist was over, and she's like, what's her name? And I said, Sutton.
Wait, son's speech therapist is over already? You got problems in the family? can't speak well? It's okay. I have problems speaking too.
And she goes, hi, little son. That is what the other person thought I said as well. Son. Her name is not Son. It is Sutton. Both of these ladies were so sweet when they thought that's what I said. My speech therapist, when I corrected her and spelled it out, she goes, living out in California, I have friends who name their kids River and Ocean, so I didn't think it was that far off. And I'm like, okay, I get what you mean. I also lived in California. Do I think River and Ocean are that far out there? No, but I understand what she's saying.
No, rivers and ocean are really far out there if you live on land.
Really not a name you can really look at sideways when it comes to people in California naming their kids. But for the record, my daughter's name is not Sun, it is Sutton. SUTTON. And maybe I need to work on how to say my daughter's name. Good Lord, I did not think this was going to be my issue with this name.
So, Sutton. Am I saying it right? I mean, the British people, let's go back to me now. The British people, there's a reason they despise the letter T. They do. That's why everything's like, hello, mate. They leave the T off because the English language, they hate those harsh, coarse sounds. The T, the K. That's why fuck is such a great word here in the United States. If you ever hear it overseas, no. But if you ever hear them say the word cunt, they literally drive that T right in there. And they've been taught in their ear and their language to learn to soften that T. So when you say Sutton. Is it Sutton? Oh, no. Everyone out there is repeating after me. No, it's Sutton. No, it's Sutton. No, Sutton. Patton. I'm thinking of other words that have the two T's and the O-N at the end of it. Oh, well. And if you've got your name out there and you'd like to be heard here on the radio, you can, or on the podcast, you can go over to profitradio.com and tell us how to say your name. Now, this couple right here has been married for 10 years. And, sometimes people, when they get married, I don't want to say they have secrets, but one secret you can't hide is if you have another human being running around with you. And this couple right here, the male, the husband, said to his wife, this is my cousin. I'm raising my cousin. And what she found out was, it was actually his biological daughter. So let's find out what actually happened to this couple. 10 years of marriage crumble when the wife finds out that her husband's young cousin that they've been raising is actually his biological daughter. He let me open my heart to her under false pretenses. Even within a marriage, people are entitled to their privacies and their quote-unquote secrets, so long as their confidential matter doesn't lead to lies or impact the relationship negatively. For example, I have a close friend still plays Neopets. She said that doesn't really keep the secret from her husband, but he has no idea how much time she's invested in this game when she's playing it since girlhood. What's Neopets? I don't know. That's before my time, I guess. While she loves her husband and is spending time with him. Hello? Travis? Yes. Yes. And basically just wants to wrap up as many points as she can on the Neopets thing. So, in our story today, a 10-year-old relationship comes to an end when the protagonist finds herself that the little girl that they've been raising for years is actually his daughter. She's introduced to the protagonist as her husband's cousin and even got the little girl to refer to him as uncle and auntie. To make matters worse, she found out about her biological relationship through a frantic call from the girl's mother. Scroll down for all the details. All right, I'll do that. Let's see. Oh, it's one of those, I got to read things. I've been married for my husband for 10 years. Early in our engagement or our marriage, he told me a touching story about his late uncle, a man who helped him out during difficult time back at home. He said that the uncle and his wife had both passed away and left him a daughter behind with no one to care for. So this is the story that she's giving us now. She said that she wanted to honor his uncle by taking care of her, but she was still in our home country. We talked about it and agreed that she would help. We would both contribute money to bring her to the United States and helped her settle in. So I guess he had a kid with someone overseas? Oh my God. She's been with us for several years now. She always called him uncle and referred to me as auntie. I treated her like she was family. I even started seeing her like as if she was a daughter. Now, fast forward a couple years or a couple of weeks ago, I got sick and she went to pick up some medication for me. While she was out, her phone kept ringing over and over and over again. I eventually picked it up because I thought it might be important. It was a woman on the other end. She asked for the girl and said I told her she wasn't around. She said something about something that knocked the breath out of me. She asked about her daughter and mentioned my husband's name, saying that he was the father. Then she threatened if I didn't allow her to see her daughter, she would involve the police. So this guy basically took the daughter and ran? Whoa, Jesus Christ, I was stunned. When the girl came back, I asked directly who her father was. She hesitated and told me the truth. My husband is her biological father. I felt sick. All this time, he had let me believe that she was his cousin's child. He let me open my heart and my home under false pretenses. And then I had the whole child. He had a whole child before we got married and never told me. No, he didn't tell you, but there's a child. It's not like, no, this is not a child. This is something else. He didn't even come clean when she moved in. I had to find out by accident through the mother, no less. When I confronted him, he tried to defend it by saying that he thought he'd leave him if I knew the truth. No, that his wife would leave him. She said that he just wanted to be close to his daughter without complicating things, but me, the lie is complications enough. The betrayal that hurts the most, he robbed me of my right to choose whether I wanted to be part of the situation. I can't stay with someone that I can't trust. So I left. I packed up and left the house. Now I'm getting calls from his family saying I overreacted and I'm breaking the home and he did it for love. And some would even say I was cruel to abandon the girl who sees me as a mother figure. How can she see her as a mother figure when the mother's calling her and trying to talk to her own daughter overseas? I don't know. That's kind of confusing. Anyways, some things are deal breakers. In this case, not necessarily the daughter, but the lie itself. I'm willing to lie. He willingly lied to you about this. What else is he lying about? Love is not supposed to be built on lies. And everyone kind of rings in. He lied for years, and so on and so forth. So, you want to know my opinion on it? First of all, if you have a kid, own up to it. That's rule one. If you have a kid and it's yours, and you start getting in a relationship, even if he said this, okay, let's say, they were married for 10 years. Let's say they dated for 2 years prior, right? So the girl, let's say the daughter was born right when they started dating. So when they got married, the girl had to be 2 years old, right? So even in that 2-year time, he had every opportunity to say, hey, this is my daughter. This is my daughter. If you still want the package, I'd love to marry you. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that have kids. And the way the United States works, 50 to 60% of marriages fail. And so you've got all these pre-made families, half families all over the place. I know a lot of women won't introduce a new man, a new beau, to their daughter or to their child, whether it be boy or girl, until they're absolutely set on that this guy's going to stick around, because they don't want to have this kind of rotating door of men or women or whatever the case may be in that child's life. So he had every opportunity to say, okay, I'm kidding. Sorry, my bad. This is my daughter. I know I said cousin and stuff. So he started off on the wrong foot. And then for 10 years, and the mother's still asking about the child. 10 years later, I'd like to speak to Sutton. It's not Sutton, it's Sutton. Whatever, that's a different story, but still. I'd like to talk to my daughter, Tree Blossom. So, hey, you guys made your own bed. Lay in it, sticks and all. All right, when we come back, my wife and I just got back from Nashville, Tennessee. I almost said North Carolina for some reason. Obviously, I don't know where Nashville's at. We just got back from Nashville, Tennessee, And one of the things that we did was we went on I think it was a 3-hour e-bike ride. And we had such a good time, so much that my wife goes, if we had these kind of bikes at home, I would go bike riding all the time up and down these 2-lane country roads here in North Carolina. But this guy right here has an e-bike, and his story turned out a little different than ours. And I'll tell you what happened to him, so stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We'd love to hear from you, and the way you can be part of the show, you can be podcast famous, is go over to prophetradio.com. At the very top of the page says Be Heard. Leave a message for Deacon Live. Hit record, listen back to it, and then send. It's that easy. If you got a microphone on whatever device you're listening to us on or at, speak right into it and comes right to our inbox. We'll play it on the very next podcast. We broadcast every Wednesday at afternoon, on an afternoon, somewhere at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. And you can be podcast famous as well. And you can also, if you don't want to go on the air, you can email me at any time. Any questions or any kind of gripes or concerns, you can do that. Just search or email me at deacon@prophetradio.com. And that's Prophet Radio, just like the website. Now, my wife, like I said, we just got back from Nashville, almost said North Carolina again, Tennessee. And we went on a 3-hour e-bike tour. Now, when I say an e-bike, if you've never ridden an e-bike before, it's a regular bicycle. And the ones that we were riding were like cruisers, right? Not like a mountain bike or anything like that. They didn't have the shocks and stuff. I got a big old fat boy seat, the big, it's a little wider for all the comfortable long distance riding. Handlebars are up a little bit more, so you're kind of up stational. It's a cruiser. If you know what a beach cruiser looks like, it's kind of like that. But you do have gears on your right-hand side where you can click them up and click them down. For hill terrain. Now, in Tennessee, in Nashville, there's a couple steep grades and stuff, and if you can't get up the hill, this is where the e-bike kicks in. And once you turn it on, there's a battery pack down between your legs and in the cross bars there, and you can hit, I think it's eco, normal, and then high. And what it does is it helps you. Like, it's a ratio thing. So if you have it on eco and you take one crank on the pedal, it's like if you did 5 cranks on the pedal. And if you have normal, it's like you did 10 cranks on the pedal, and then so on and so forth. So you're literally like going like this, and you're cruising at 30 miles an hour down the road. You're still working it. You're still huffing it. Doesn't take away anything as far as the actual physical movement, actual workout on it, but it just helps you get up that hill a little bit faster. It kind of eliminates the whole 18 gears where you got the 3 sprockets and underneath you, and then the 15 sprockets in the back, and you're trying to figure out, and the chain's skipping all over the place. No, it's almost... They've taken away that sprocket right there on the middle of the crankshaft. God, I know so much about e-bikes. I only rode one time, and now I'm a fucking genius on it. But my wife says, let's go get one. And we kind of priced them. It all depends on the wattage. There's like a 750 watts bike that can go, I think it said 35 miles on one charge, and it was like under $400. And then there's like 1,000 watt. And that goes for like $600 and up and down the chain you want to go. So she was excited. She was looking into it. I mean, we literally driving back from Nashville, we were looking into getting an e-bike. But after this story, because she listens to every podcast, she's not going to want to do it right now because a man suffers 90% of the burns on his body because the battery blast injury worsens as his flatmate shuts the door on his electric bike that exploded in the home. That's a lot to swallow here, so I'll tell you what's going on. A promising life of a 22-year-old man in China is foreseeably put on hold after his roommate's electric bike battery exploded, causing several burns. To make matters worse, the roommate fled the incident that unfolded, shut the door behind him, compounding Jahan's dangerous predicament. Du was a third-year student at Wuhan. Sorry, I was like, I know that name from somewhere. Wuhan City College in central China's Providence, where a devastating accident happened last year. He was looking forward to opening up his own furniture installation business after graduation, but his hopes were dashed by his schoolmates, Li Jinjin, with whom he rented a flat for last summer while he worked part-time jobs. Li rented an electric bike for 30 yen, which is about $40 a month, to work as a delivery driver. He insisted on charging the battery at home despite Du telling him several times it was dangerous. One day at 6 a.m., the battery caught fire and emitted a toxic gas. Lee, who was sleeping closer to the main door of the flat, ran out in time. Surveillance footage from the hallway shows him running down towards the fire extinguisher before returning to the shut door with Du still inside. Du said later that Lee's behavior caused the door to lock automatically and the battery blaze away while he was trying to open it. He was locked behind the door for a minute and a half. Jesus. Du suffered burns over 90% of his body and damaged his respiratory tract, and he was in critical condition for some time. 2 fingers on his left hand had to be amputated as a result of his injuries. Jesus Christ! Du remained silent until his 22nd birthday on April, but said he would never forgive Lee. I will I will crush you, Lee. My revenge. I will have my revenge. There's a storybook there somewhere. Du said his parents borrowed money everywhere to save him. They suffered pain. They suffered from the pain of donating me their skin as well. He endured 12 skin graft operations in the past 10 months. His father had undergone 5 rounds of surgeries to provide the skin. Jesus, talk about giving your skin off your back for your child. Du's family spent about 2.8 million yen, which is about $380,000, on his treatment, plus other daily expenses. The family has taken Lee and the landlord and the electric bike company's maker to court with little avail. Lee's family is only compensated Du with about $1,400 US in the instant because they were too poor to give. Well, everyone in China is too poor. They're making those Temu things. Lee was detained for the crime of negligence causing serious injuries. According to Chinese law, this offense carries a maximum of 3 years in prison. So, e-bike, anyone? You want to go for a ride somewhere? I mean, now, granted, I know you think of a flat, like an apartment, and like an apartment here in the United States, 800 square feet, 600 square feet. You've seen, in New York, they sell $3,000 and you get 400 square feet. In China, it's half of that. So even any kind of small flame fire, anything that explodes or something like that in a small contained area, and you're locked out of your apartment, how does that happen when he shuts the door? It's like a hotel. You can't get, diddy mow. It burns. 90% of his body. Well, they're small. They cook up quick. Now, this woman right here, I don't know why let's put it this way. This woman right here has been jumping on or being part of my logarithm on my TikTok feed. I don't know why. All of a sudden, every 4th video is this woman. And I'm like going, Jesus Christ, what did I do? What did I punch something? Did I click on something? Why is this woman every 4th video on my thing? Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Because like the first time I saw her, she's kind of weird looking. She's got short black hair, brown hair, kind of a bob. If you're watching this here on the YouTube channel, kind of a bob. She's cross-eyed and her teeth she's got too many teeth in her mouth. Big smile, too many chiclets in there. And I would scroll past, she's not doing anything. It's the same picture all the time. If you're watching this here, it's always this, and she's talking. She's, like this. And she's talking. She's giving a message. Well, I sat there one day and I said, let's see what she's saying. And I listened to it and I go, okay, well, that's great. I don't know why she's on my feed, my TikTok feed. And the person I'm talking about, her name is Renita Oxendine. That's RenattaOxendine. Renita Oxendine. She's a Christian, an elder millennial, a sports nut, and an F1 warrior. So I say, okay, what has she got going on? So I'm going to switch over to camera 4 here, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here. So here she is.
I'm about to go to bed. Good night, y'all. May the Lord bless each and every one of you. I hope and pray you all sleep well tonight and wake up feeling refreshed in the morning. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. Take care.
That's it. That's all she does, all the time. Here's another one.
Good afternoon, y'all. My life hasn't been easy. I've had some challenges, but I will never lose my faith in God. He is the only reason I'm here today, and He has gotten me through it all. I hope you're all having a great afternoon. God loves you, and so do I.
All right, one more. They're short. They're real short. Oh, no, not that. Jesus Christ, not that.
Well, I made it to 10,000 followers.
10,000.
Thank you all so much. I am so incredibly blessed, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I hope you all have a great day. God loves you, and so do I. Take care. Well,
So that's it. Okay, I got you. Thank you very much. So I looked her up and found out that she was born in 1981. She was the daughter of a white female. She's the daughter of a white female and a Native American Indian, I guess you would say. And when she was 8 years old, her dad died in a car accident. 2 years later, she found out that she suffers from epilepsy and something else. Then when she was 18, they found out that she had not fibromyalgia. She had, let her tell you the story because I'm going to ruin it. And I want to give her all the credit in the world as far as what happened to her. And here's her story.
Good morning, y'all. I want to share my story with you all. I was born in March of 1981 to a white mother and a Native American father. When I was 8 years old, my father was killed in an automobile accident. It was rough, but I know God was with me. When I was 13 years old, I was diagnosed with epilepsy and neurofibromatosis type 1. Neurofibromatosis is a genetic condition that causes tumors to form on the nerves. It's a hard condition for me, but I'm making it every day. When I was 26 years old, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. God is getting me through that too. I've had my share of struggles in my life, but I've never given up on God. He is awesome, and without Him, I would not be here today to share my story. He has gotten me through so much, and even though sometimes I still struggle, I know He is by my side at all times, and He will never leave my side. I hope you're all having a great Sunday morning. God loves you, and so do I.
So that's it. I mean, that's her. I don't want to say it's her shtick, but that's what she does. And I don't know if she mentally, every video is the same way. It's her in that silhouette. It's a 3/4 shot or 2/3 shot. And she sits there and she's got the smarts to put it up on TikTok. She's got the smarts to label everything. I don't know if she's doing or if the mother's doing or whatever, but she's out there every day and punching them out. And she just achieved 10,000 views. Now, I'm not a religious man, but we all need some kind of positivity. And if you can get a little bit of positivity from that, by all means, take it, soak it in, and show her some love. So if you see her on your TikTok video, don't pass her by. It's a 16 second clip every time she talks and stuff. So if you just need that little affirmation of faith, by all means, check her out. All right, guys, if you're enjoying the show, if you've enjoyed the show, make sure you follow us over on TikTok. That's Be Podcast Famous. You can be if you enjoyed the show, let's try that again. If you enjoyed the show, you can follow us over on TikTok. That's Be Podcast Famous over on TikTok. And you can be podcast famous by going over to profitradio.com at the top of the page. Leave us a message. Your voice comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. Make sure you follow us over on Facebook now. That's DeaconLive over on Facebook. And watch the whole entire video over on YouTube. DeaconLive podcast over on YouTube. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait, come back!
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
See you later. Oh, see you later. See you later. My name is do. See you. Bye.